Hey everyone, welcome back to the YouTube channel. We are doing pretty cold start on this old tractor here. And we're doing a belt start with it. You don't see this a whole lot. This is the belt that we use with our feed grinder. We use it for pull starting tractors or belt starting the tractors. And a trick about these is you have to reverse the belt by flipping it so it's on the opposite direction of the tractor that you're starting. So we've got it twisted here, you flip it over, and that'll help getting it going. This has been sitting since the day I actually made my plow video, and that is gotta be it's not oil. Water from the head gasket. So this tractor needs the head gasket redone on it, I think he said, right? What? The head gasket? Yeah. Yep. Yep. So we're blowing all the water out of everywhere. So when we give it compression, it'll be safe. Spark plug? Spark plug? It's dumping cool everywhere. It's got a bad head gasket. The gasket that holds it all in doesn't do its job right, so then it spews out of everywhere. Look back on that one. I was asking him about the spark plug. We got a rebuild kit off the internet on about June. Did a tune-up on this one, and the spark plug wire, if you have it on all the way, it doesn't spark correctly. So we learned we have to have it barely sitting on there at all for it to actually make the spark and connect. So I think it was probably August the last time this tractor is run, and it's December now. We got a little time off because of the holidays to kind of fiddle around in the yard. We've got a little time because of the holidays to fiddle around in the yard, and today is supposed to be almost 50 degrees. It'd be a perfect day for painting this, but the paint's going to be under the Christmas tree, and that's kind of letting the cat out of the bag if I give it to him ahead of time. So we're doing some rearranging in the shop and in the yard. Some projects that we kind of got supplies for or got into didn't get done. And this sickle bar mower that I showed you earlier needs to go to someplace else. It's in a bad spot here, and because of that cutter bar, he took the cutting bar out of it. But I want him to find a better spot for his bench press. And you can see that mill is still sitting over there. So because of the truck that we're working on, we're kind of rearranging some things, and I thought that mill could go where the truck is sitting now, but it'd be nice to get it in before everything freezes to the ground again. And this has been frozen to the ground for maybe a month. So this stuff is gonna get moved. We're gonna do a cold start on this. So you're gonna see a couple cold starts here. Our hay mower here is the one that we use dedicated, and he doesn't want to have it setting out. And his dad has been supposed to come and get this for like forever. So it's like a crimper or something that goes on the swather, and we haven't had the swather here in 2019 at all. He had these bins out on loan. This is a fuel tank containment system, and there's about one other guy that knows about this, so hi to you. We are going to use these for feed bins instead of making or buying any kind of grain feeders for the cows. They've got a drain system here, but right now the cows are stepping in their hay, and things like that. So you can see we got to drill some holes so that they don't hold water. And right here, of course, it's, you know, nice and off level here, so they're getting filled full. They're going to get dragged out of here. We got some company coming for the holidays, and I can't stand having all this stuff in the front yard right for everyone to see. And part of the situation is always one job leading to another. This tree is going to have to come down soon, and he can't do any chainsawing with all of this stuff sitting here. This branch right here is right over this whole shop area, and it's going to have to be the first one to probably get cut off. So it's a good day to be out here fiddling around, getting some fresh air, get these kids up and moving and helping. Jack doesn't come out enough, and we're trying to turn him into a bigger man. And because he is 13 years old this year, going on 14 soon, so it's time to start doing some stuff. It's just different for city kids when they come out to the farm to start learning how to do things. And they've kind of taken the back seat and been allowed to be little kids, not farm workers. And I'm seeing now maybe I shouldn't have babied him so much and got him to work. When he got this belt out, he said, "What belt?" Trey knew exactly what we were talking about because Trey was 2. So lots of fiddling around, lots of monkey business going on, but that's the cold start on the tractor. I'll help him move some things around. We'll show you a video on the cold start for this. Everything sitting out is just driving him nuts today. He's had this tractor sitting for years. It needs like a water pump rebuild or something, and he had a hard time finding the parts numbers for it, and his dad happened to have had a water pump rebuild kit sitting on the shelf. So it's been sitting next to the barn waiting for some time to get to it, and nothing gets worked on in Michigan out in the cold. You know what they say about everything in its place and a place for everything? A couple of years ago I did a cleanup video of cleaning up the areas of the barn, and I started with the outside of the barn. So now we're going to start in on inside barn projects. Now my New Year's resolution is going to be to get this barn in shape. It's not going to be in tip-top shape. We don't have the money to put into it for that. And honestly, my squaring abilities stink. So I'm going to work on that and get better. I'm over my fears of using the saw. He really would like to put a lean-to on this part of the barn. I really wanted to put some outdoor livestock pens here, just so that any animals that are in there, like if we have pigs in there having birth, that they can come out. The trouble is, this is not the bottom of the barn. It actually drops down quite a bit. To be able to do that, we would have to dig the ground out. Also giving up some of the support of the barn sidewall. Now, I had originally thought this was poured wall, and on the inside it looks like it's poured wall, but on the outside it looks like it's bricks. And I'm really not sure about how it is. Maybe they poured a layer of concrete at a time. So if you know how they did this, or if it's just forms from the concrete, maybe they built, maybe that's where the boards were stacked. Like maybe they used 2x12, or yeah, maybe they used 2x8s for a frame and put it there. But you can see I've got a crack here that we want to get that mortared in, cemented, and fixed. There's one here also, right there, and I want to fix up the siding. I decided not to do anything with those windows other than cover them with plastic. We're using it for the hay storage right now. But he's talked about instead using it as a lean-to for that stack wagon to have a dry place to park. So it does make sense. It's kind of unused space. However, having a lean-to bumped out, you know, 12 feet or so, really kind of cuts this corner down for when we're bringing in hay. So he was just taking care of some stomach remains from when we gutted out a cow there, and the boys are lining up feed for the cows for dinner, and I'm cleaning up some strings that were on the ground. Don't jump from that high up. You could hurt your ankles and your knees. No, 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 no. There you go. That's what Mommy's having to do right now. And I don't land on my foot wrong. Always picking up strings. These should go in the burning barrel as soon as you cut them, okay, guys? Thank you. Those are real bad getting caught up in a lawnmower. Found that the hard way. Had some a couple years ago. Yeah, it doesn't do well with chains in there. It's actually a pretty nice day out. I'm gonna grab some things that I had made up. I guess he's got one more tractor he's working on. But it's a warm enough day, and I think the bees might be out doing a cleansing flight. So I'm gonna go grab some hive entrance reducers that I was making today. Yep. No, one! So they're pulling another one here. Is he trying to start it? Yeah. It didn't want to start last time. Or maybe it just never got going.
This time it started.
Well, I pulled him all the way down the road and back the one day, and it did not want to start. Yeah, that seemed to be okay. I don't know. But, no, it didn't. It stalled out. Bethany and I ran down before dark and put those hive entrances on for the bees. I'm not sure. Definitely one hive was alive still. I didn't see any activity going on the others, but it might be just a little cold that they're in their cluster. So, would have been a good day to kind of get in there and see. But, as the days go, I was busy doing other things. If they're dead, they're dead. If they're alive, they're gonna need feed in the spring, not now. So we put the hive entrances on to make sure, poked a stick in them to see if there was any mouse nests. I didn't come across anything. What's going on here?
He ran out of fuel. It didn't start though.
I saw.
He used up the fuel in the lines that had the hole emptied out.
Yeah.
And it's not got it full, so.
Oh. It's disassembled?
No, it's back together now, but it was empty, so.
I see. Anyways, if it's not one thing, it's another. Something always needs to be done. Something's always on the wait list. Where's the front end of your tractor, sir? You're Duba! Where's the front end of your tractor? The front is missing! This was Jack's little tractor when he was little, and he got it for Christmas, and we had so much stuff to bring home, it got left behind at Grandma's. And it stayed there for 13 years, parked in the garage, just being used when the kids came over to visit. And we said, you know, it needs to be here so this guy can run it, because he's a handy, smart guy. So we just keep it charged all the time, and he runs on it. Are you out of gear?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I was just looking at something. It looks like our gate has been rammed. What the heck? What happened? Our gate has been smashed. Do you see that? See this? I heard yahooing going on out here. This is all ripped right off. No, that's not a deer. A deer can't do that. Well, this is the first. I was out here and took the decorations off. I thought we still had our scarecrows up here because, well, yesterday was the first day of winter, so I left them up until then. I wondered, there's a chain link down here on the ground, and I didn't know if it was from opening it or not. The whole family is out of the house today.
Mom!
Hey, move! This guy can talk all of a sudden. In the last like 2 weeks, he's been saying all kinds of stuff. Today, he bumped me off of the couch when I got up, and he told me it was his spot, and pointed to the other couch and told me that was my spot. Those guys are in your way, aren't they? You gotta move, Georgie! Weehaw! He was seeing about that little quad in the garage. It's just the right size, but I don't know whatever happened to the control plug-in thing for it. It got ripped off, and I was going to try to fix it. I wonder if we could get 2 modern plug-ins for it, or 3, I guess, and just swap them. You are dirty.
That's from my eyes.
See that nose? You got a black mark going all down your nose. Yes. That's okay, it's a pretty nose. Don't be afraid to tell your boys they're pretty. It'll give them confidence when they get older. I'll tell them they're handsome. I tell them they're handsome too. This is really something for Jack. Ooh, bad spot with that sun, huh? Sorry about that. Taking a few pictures here as I go. He said it wouldn't start because he had the fuel sediment bowl taken apart. Uh-huh. I see. It's about time for me to quit. My foot's hurting from walking out there to the bees now and pushing that tractor. I've done pretty good with it. I've only had to take ibuprofen a couple of times. You go to the doctor and they immediately talk you in that you have to have surgery right away and put pins in it. I did some research online about it, and they got to put pins through the end of your toe, through your foot, numb or not. I'm not interested, because even numbing is several shots. You gotta clear the driveway, buddy. I don't know what's going on here. I'm gonna go find out. Well, George had to get on there and get tucked in. He likes to help drive, and he shoves our hands out of the way so that he can do it on his own. And Trey is tractor guy extraordinaire, you know. He did all of our straw raking and he helped out with the hay this year. He's coming along. He's turned into quite a farmer. So the other tractor that needs that gasket redone got parked in here. Just keep moving things around, We had to bump all the bikes out temporarily to get it in, but the nice thing about these narrow fronts, or tricycle they call them, versus a wide front, this is the 40 wide, and they take up so much space. With this, you can pack them in there like spoons in a drawer and have another one front to back. And other parts of the shop, he's done that in the past, and he can really get them in there. So I think this one's gonna go in. I think that needs some engine maintenance on it. I don't remember. It wasn't wanting to fire on its own at all. And the last time we tried to pull start it, it just didn't fire. It would not go. So I think he's gonna do a tear down. To my knowledge, none of these have had that kind of extensive maintenance on them. And you can tell from the paint, they've spent a majority of their life as working tractors and probably sitting out. I've got some material on hand. Both of these need the seat backs done. Yeah. Got my own parade going on today. So they don't know it, but I was able to pick up some yellow vinyl and black trim. In the upholstery department at like Joann Fabrics or Michael's, you can get the tubing, I forget what they call it, piping, for doing the different color at the edge of the seat. So like one of the tractors, somebody redid it in all black, but see, it's got the separate black trim on it. So they all end up doing the same thing, where they start deteriorating and they fall off on one side. And you know, I think just the material gets worn and moisture gets in there and damages them. So I picked up several yards of yellow fabric, and hopefully he'll get at least one new tractor seat. I see! But the last time I ran this one myself, the back came off of that, and I hadn't realized, and part of the problem about fixing them, that back board is curved. So you have to have a way to steam it or press it to be able to get that contour on that to get it rebuilt. Yeah, I hadn't much thought about that contour on that seat when I started thinking about redoing those. I don't know. He doesn't want to get off the dooba. Tractors are doobas. He can say combine pretty good. He's totally stressing out. His eyes are turning all red. Jack doesn't understand the love of a tractor with a little boy like that. Yeah. They like to go out on the tractors and go for rides. It's just not the same for him. Now this doesn't have power steering on it, so they're changing operators. Trouble is, he doesn't have the experience with the brake pedals and such. I think he's gonna pull it around up here and get that pulled in by the other one. We did a lot of work on these tractors this year with painting rims, repairing rims. This one's got a new tire on it. I don't know if the match to that tire is going to go on it or if it ended up getting used on another tractor. The 40 needs new tires on it. It needs new tires on it all the way around. But I'm sick of that tractor. It won't start, it won't run. Trey was just noticing that the front end is like offset, and I don't know. We were checking the holes here to see if it was bumped out too far on the one side or not. He said it didn't look like it was. Well, there's 4 showing here. It's just offset, but it doesn't. Huh. Yep, just offset. So he wants to get that here in this spot. Gotta learn sometime. At least it's got a tractor weight on the front. Tractors. Yeah. He's having a hard time. There's absolutely no power steering at all. You're gonna push it in? Yeah. Let's set this somewhere then.
We can pull it a little more.
We're pushing tractors around. The 40 is light and the wheels are real small. Like I was saying, it needs new tires. I think it's this one over here. The sun it was sitting in it is just splitting right out of the sidewall. And it actually...
If you lay right on that brake, it'll help you steer if you need to.
Yeah. Not easy job trying to push these tractors around with a broken toe and a broken part of my foot. Oh yeah.
Hit the brake.
His theory is, you're fine, you're fine. So I just come out here and try to walk on the inner side of my foot here. As long as I stay off that section right there, I'm okay. I'm a fast healer. Good livestock to have. Back on her feet quick.
Even with a little bump,
Because you're downhill.
yeah.
But you're right on your tread, so it's not going anywhere.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Now we're off the brake.
How are we gonna? Don't hit another tractor, Jack. He wants to chalk too. Give him a piece, Bethy. Yeah. These 2 tractors are never going to be nose to nose like this again.
Wait, my brakes are still on. My brakes are still on.
Hold on.
Okay. Start cranking on the wheel.
And you're being dragged.
Drifting a tractor like you do. Here, Trey. Put that chain shorter. I gotta get on the asphalt.
Hey Murdoch, will you unplug his baby tractor and pull it out? Dad's gonna need that and those 2 sleds moved. Tire width wise, he's gonna be up in that area, I think. At least to get in. We don't want to we don't want to damage it. He's on Dad's tractor. Trey, he's on Dad's tractor. George is on Dad's tractor. Mom always knows where the baby is. Oh, looks like I need to help again. Come up your head. Go, Becky! Come on out. Every time. Come on. Oh, yeah. Ready? Go. Lost the momentum. So he found these tires. I don't remember where. Where's their name? Seems like it was off of eBay. Brand new tire. Came from China. Of course.
I think it was where it was sitting in the dirt.
Yeah?
It's already got
It's split right open.
cracked, so not worth it.
No, I think we need to be contacting whoever they came from. I've never seen absolutely no miles, but it was sitting. The thing is, it wasn't even sitting in the sun until we moved it over there sometime late summer. I'm finding you a name for it so that you don't order them and do the same thing. Guy behind me is just freaking out back there. It says QH611. Ply. That QH is the only label on it I can see. Now that it's in, of course. Get down here and see if I can see anything on this side. No, QH611. So don't order that. They're not going to last you. Oh, here's something. Ag Pro. AG Pro. So, I guess we're not going to put the other matching tire on there. And if they've been on it and it's been sitting, I mean, that's not going to do us any good. There's lots of swears going on. This tractor, it's not wanting to shift like it's supposed to. That's what caused me trouble with it in the summer with the tedder. Gets like jammed up switching gears for some reason. I don't know what to do about that. He does, but when I'm out in the field by myself, I don't know what to do. And I found out if it's in like reverse or something, it's not oil pressure or something. Do what? Take the brakes off of this. So we're gonna try to belt start this. We pulled it with the chain up and down the driveway. Jack did it, I did it. It did not want to go. So I think he heated up the fuel line on it. I don't know what he's doing. Not in the right angle or something. So we filled it with fuel. No fuel was getting through. I suggested we just go ahead and try to do a belt start with it so it has a longer time to warm up than the length of the driveway pulling it. Because honestly, these ag tires are tearing up our driveway terribly. It's not a great driveway to begin with, and I don't want to get it tore up just before a company's coming over in a couple days. Besides the permanent damage. Can't see anything, it's too dark. It's much lighter out than it is. Maybe I'll be able to lighten this up on the computer a bit. He had it started at one point when Jack was pulling him. gosh. Well, I'll tell you, he's a lot more persistent than me. I just was done. I gave up. But he got it started. There was no fuel getting through past it's got 2 fuel filters. And I don't know if he had changed them recently. It finally started and it's going in the barn. He is getting it moved quickly in case it stalls out. He'd actually got it started once with Jack and it didn't keep running. So we knew it was gonna go at some point. He was afraid there might be ice in it or something. I don't know, it's winter, it could happen. I don't know enough about it. The tractor that wasn't wanting to shift right, he told me that the transmission is wore out, which sucks because it's a 620. It's my favorite tractor. It's the easiest one to start because there's no pony motor because it's a gas engine. The pony motors are all in the diesels. So that's never really good for me either because I have been shopping for a tractor for myself forever and he wants me to get a diesel tractor. So I keep looking at everything except a John Deere tractor because I don't want a pony motor. I made a phone call and I made a hard offer on a tractor that I really liked that was a diesel. It was a International 584D. I thought it'd be a good tractor to pick up because it was owned by a public school system just out of Ann Arbor, Michigan. And it's a long ways to go pick up a tractor like that, but for the condition and the hours that was on it, oh my gosh, it'd be a great tractor to have because it was used for their baseball field keeping and everything. Besides the fact that it came with some extra things like a sprayer and a broom. But hey, I don't need it, so I can always sell it off to kind of defer some of the cost of the tractors. But I'm still going to keep looking, and he's going to still keep fiddling with these old John Deere 2-cylinders. So whatever floats his boat and makes him happy. He's persistent. I just follow his lead. So that's enough for today, everybody. We're going to get this last tractor put in. We got some shopping to do. We got to get some groceries, make a trip to town. We'll see you all next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.